Many people credit veterans joining the anti-war movement with bringing about the end of the Vietnam War. The first national protest against the Vietnam War was held 55 years ago this month at the Pentagon. So we're honoring a woman who was there, using her skills as a nurse practitioner to help her fellow marchers stay safe. Ann Hirschman Schremp has been dubbed the grandmother of street medics and was at the forefront of the anti-war movement. SeniorLiving.Org would like to honor her for all she has done for peace and for helping her fellow Americans. In this video, Ann tells us why she was arrested so often.
During protests against the Vietnam War, there were a bunch of people who would decide that they were going to do something called civil disobedience and get arrested. I did not do that type of getting arrested. I was incredibly proud of the people who did. I think they have amazing courage, but my role was to be the medic. So I did not get arrested on purpose to get arrested as a protest. I did get arrested a fair amount of times because I was brought up by people who taught me first aid from birth. And when I see bleeding, I am compelled to put pressure on it. And if you do that to a person that the police have not finished injuring, they get upset. So occasionally that's how I got arrested. I would wade in to try and do first aid before the injuries had finished being inflicted. So that was one reason I got arrested. And after the first time that happened, something that my grandmother taught me came back to my mind. And that was that she and I have an anomaly that our hand and our wrist is about the same size. So handcuffing my grandmother or myself is not easy. We can slip handcuffs fairly easily. So after that, I would frequently wind up arrested because I knew somebody was being thrown in a paddy wagon who needed first aid, and I needed to be there to do first aid. And the easiest way to do that would be to get arrested, slide out of the handcuffs, and do the first aid in the paddy wagon, which was great. And that happened a number of times. And it wasn't that I was trying for any kind of glory. It just, if I needed to do first aid and I needed to be in the paddy wagon, I needed to get arrested. And since I slipped out of handcuffs fairly routinely, it occasionally annoyed a police officer. And one afternoon I got arrested and the police officer was there and my lawyer was not there yet. And so I said to the judge, Your Honor, I was committing medical care, and under the finer decision, which you can look up, it says that people who are medically trained are allowed to do medical care if somebody needs medical care. And so the arrests never lasted long, and I knew I was going to get out. And the police officer stepped up and said, Your Honor, I demand that she be charged with stealing my handcuffs. And I asked to see the judge in a sidebar. And the judge was a lovely gentleman, older than me, older than most of the people in the courtroom, and quite conventional. And it was the late 1960s. And I said, Your Honor, just to be fair, I always give people back their handcuffs. I gave him back his handcuffs. They're not that nice, and I'm not that kinky. And then everybody in the whole court froze and turned various colors, and my case got dismissed.